professores, vivat academia, vivat professores, vivat membrum quodlibet, vivat membra quodlibet, semper sit in flore, semper sit in flore. Alma mater floreat, quae nos educavit. Alma mater floreat, quae nos educavit. Carus es commilitones, disitas in regiones, spaesus congregavit, spaesus congregavit.
Thank you. I'm George Boyne. I'm Principal and Vice-Chancellor of the University of Aberdeen, and it's my enormous pleasure to offer you a very warm Aberdonian welcome to this graduation ceremony. Please take your seats. Professor Sarai.
Vice-Chancellor, esteemed colleagues, honoured guests and graduates of the University of Aberdeen. It gives me great pleasure to address our gathering today on this day of celebration and to share a few words with our graduating students. Graduates, may I be among the first to congratulate you on your terrific achievement. This occasion represents the culmination of months and years of hard work on your part. You have endured countless hours in lectures and seminars, for some of which you may even have been awake. Long days in the library, stressful deadlines for assignments, dreaded periods of examination, complexity of COVID, and copious cups of coffee, and perhaps, very occasionally, something a bit stronger. And you are here. Those assignments were all handed in some cases, much to my surprise, but nevertheless, we got them. And don't forget that we mark them and give you feedback. And now, you've made it. The latest welcome addition to the roll of graduates from this 528-year-old institution. Well done, each and every one of you. And there is a second group of people whom you might recognize today. Those who have supported you throughout your studies. Here on this hall, they are your family members, close friends, and beloved spouses and partners. And if not with you today, I'm certain that they share this celebration of your achievements with you in their minds. These are the people who have been there for you all along, for your breakups as well as your breakdowns, for early morning calls of encouragement and for late night words of reassurance, and probably offers of financial support at some stages of your studies. They too deserve your gratitude. With many of you today bidding farewell to this institution and to this city, what message might go with you as you take your next step in the world? Here, if I may, I would like to indulge in telling you about an ancient Persian story that is often in the back of my mind. It's about a father and his young son that went on a journey between two cities. They only had one donkey, so father asked his son to ride the donkey and he walks along with him. Shortly they come across other travelers and he overhears them commenting disapprovingly on why would a young man ride whilst an older gentleman is walking. On hearing this, they decide to swap places until another group of travelers passed them. This time, others frowned upon the fact that he was riding and his child had to walk in the heat of the desert. So they decide to both ride the donkey. Again, the next group of travelers passing by are aghast to observe such a cruelty inflicted on the poor animal, commenting, why on earth these two would not take turns? Fed up with the constant negative feedback, they decided to enough was enough, and they both walked until the next group passed them by. I think you are well ahead of me on this, and you know how this story goes. And yes, you're correct. Everyone thought, what a pair of idiots. They have a donkey, and none of them is riding it. So the moral of the story is that in life, and particularly in this day and age with strong influences of social media on every aspect of our lives, no matter what you decide to do and however you decide to go about it, there are going to be disapproving voices. Also, those who are least equipped to analyze the situation often are more vocal critics, expressing their dismay and firmly stating what you should really be doing instead. As graduates, your teachers and mentors have been helping you to develop and expand your critical thinking, analyzing data, developing evidence-based decision-making. You are certainly well equipped to venture forth not only with the knowledge and understanding that you have gained from your studies, but also with new skills and confidence. You have nothing to fear in what lies ahead, and bear in mind that just like the father and his young son, you will never please everyone. But you are well equipped to work wonders in your chosen fields and change the world to be a better place for others. I wish you all your happiness as you go about this.
Professor Pinar, promoter of graduands.
Domine Proconcolari, Domini Doctores e Magistri totas universitas, presenta vobis os candidatus examine probatus, ad gradum magistratus, in artibus liberalibus promovendus.
Annuente senatu placet promovere.
Ascendent Julius Leuta.
Ego, ea auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes, alma huic universitate amplissimum indulserunt, te in artibus liberalibus magistrum creo, in cuius reo testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno, quod ut Felix Faustumque sit, deum optimum maximum precor.
Rowan Langmuir.
Et te creo.
Farida Akalon.
Et te creo.
Holly Allen.
Et te creo.
Chiara Ashaf.
Et te creo.
Regia Belija,
Et te creo.
Caitlin Buchan,
Et te creo.
Anna Cameron,
Et te creo.
Johan Carlin,
Et te creo.
Mocha Saran,
Et te creo.
Danielle Christie,
Et te creo.
Duncan Kotam,
Et te creo.
Amy Cox,
Et te creo.
Eve Dixon,
Et te creo.
Craig Donaldson,
Et te creo.
Erica Freiberg,
Et te creo.
Elizabeth Gavin,
Et te creo.
Emily Gettins,
Et te creo.
Tom Graham Marr,
Et te creo.
Mike Halensubin,
Et te creo.
Maya Hunter,
Et te creo.
Mary Irvine,
Et te creo.
Kirsty Joyner,
Et te creo.
Davies Candy,
Et te creo.
Christina Clias,
Et te creo.
Simona Kovachova,
Et te creo.
Harriet Lambden,
Et te creo.
Katwin Lee,
Et te creo.
Chako Leung,
Et te creo.
Sophie Levine,
Et te creo.
Sophie Longmuir,
Et te creo.
Abby Macaskill.
Ette Creo.
Kendall McConnell.
Ette Creo.
Anna McCulloch.
Ette Creo.
Josephine McLeod.
Ette Creo.
Miles Mack.
Ette Creo.
Anita Malik.
Ette Creo.
Ina Melchiokina.
Ette Creo.
Beth Mitchell.
Ette Creo.
Anna Moore.
Ette Creo.
Christy Mowat.
Ette Creo.
Cara Nally.
Ette Creo.
Molly O'Connor.
Ette Creo.
Amarachi Orisakli.
Ette Creo.
Caitlin Parsons.
Ette Creo.
Eleanor Patterson.
Ette Creo.
Eden Reddy.
Ette Creo.
Shona Ross.
Ette Creo.
Isla Ryan.
Ette Creo.
Katie Rimo.
Ette Creo.
Soraya Sadie Gopur.
Ette Creo.
Kirsty Scott.
Ette Creo.
Katerina Shiposhova.
Ette Creo.
Jody Smith.
Ette Creo.
Julia Schmolash.
Ette Creo.
Kirsten Smith.
Ette Creo.
Libby Spence.
Ette Creo.
Fern Stephen.
Ette Creo.
Olivia Stocks.
Et te creo.
Caitlin Strachan.
Et te creo.
Emma Strachan.
Et te creo.
Chantel Street.
Et te creo.
Abby Sutherland.
Et te creo.
Taylor Thornton.
Et te creo.
Caitlin Tittensor.
Et te creo.
Maya Ward.
Et te creo.
Kasha Warren.
Et te creo.
Marnie Watkins.
Et te creo.
Lucy White.
Et te creo.
Abigail Clark.
Et te creo.
Alexandria Hepburn.
Et te creo.
Penny McCullough.
Et te creo.
Rebecca McPhee.
Et te creo.
Anna Morrison.
Et te creo.
Catherine Odence.
Et te creo.
Yulina Oseal.
Et te creo.
Alexander Owen.
Et te creo.
Lorena Peafrey.
Et te creo.
Zara Purdy.
Et te creo.
Celine Strobin.
Et te creo.
Harris Wilson.
Et te creo.
Lori Clubb.
Et te creo.
Cameron Darcy.
Et te creo.
Megan Eady.
Et te creo.
Brody Leith.
Et te creo.
Kyra Litamba.
Et te creo.
Vincem presenter vobis os candidatus examine probatus ad gradum magistratus in artis scientia promovendos.
Annuente senatu placet promovere.
Ascendent Irene Breda.
Ego, ea auctoritate quam sumi et potentissimi principes, alma huic universitate amplissimum indulserunt, te in arte scientiae magistrum creo, in cuius rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno, quod ut felix faustumque sit, dem optimum maximum preco.
Zachary Brown.
Et te creo.
Harper Eagles.
Et te creo.
Veronica Janakova.
Et te creo.
Louis Lamont.
Et te creo.
Item presenter vobis hos candidatus examine probatus ad gradum baccalaureatus in scientia promovendus.
Annuente senatu placet promovere.
Ascendant Shannon Harvey.
Ego, ea auctoritate quam sumi et potentissimi principes, alma huic universitate amplissimum indulserunt, te in scientia baccalaureum creo, in cuius rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno, quod ut felix faustumque sit, dem optimum maximum precor.
Alice Ligonier.
Et te creo.
Naomi McLeay.
Et te creo.
Juliette Protti.
Et te creo.
Aaron Smith.
Et te creo.
Isabella Taylor.
Et te creo.
Justina Bulanda.
Et te creo.
Lorelei Sellers.
Et te creo.
Jody Watson.
Et te creo.
Rebecca Wilkie.
Et te creo.
Rebecca Barat.
Et te creo.
Jacob Lawrence.
Et te creo.
Niam Bowie.
Et te creo.
Harojin.
Et te creo.
Elisabeth Caplanelli.
Et te creo.
Martina Moncarella.
Et te creo.
Lola Wilson.
Ete Creo.
Tegan Badger.
Ete Creo.
Jane Brown.
Ete Creo.
Ainoa Burgos Aguilera.
Ete Creo.
Ella Maninen.
Ete Creo.
Isabella McDowell.
Ete Creo.
Katie Reines.
Ete Creo.
Jody Shannon.
Ete Creo.
Ross Simpson.
Ete Creo.
Nicholas Thompson.
Ete Creo.
Sarah Vitalderon.
Ete Creo.
Alyssa Brown.
Ete Creo.
Abigail Case.
Ete Creo.
Lee Johnstone.
Ete Creo.
Jack Spriggs.
Ete Creo.
Cecilia Nielsen.
Ete Creo.
Jack Henderson.
Ete Creo.
Olivia Janes.
Ete Creo.
Clara Nutson.
Ete Creo.
Marcin Matkovic.
Ete Creo.
Sophia Pocchiarelli.
Ete Creo.
Julieta Redondo Cardoso.
Ete Creo. We now come to a musical part of this ceremony. An octet from the university's chapel choir will perform one of the best-known songs of Robert Burns, "My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose."
O my Lord,
Professor Pinar, promoter of graduands.
Item presenter vobis os candidatus examine probatus ad gradum baccalaureatus in scientia promovendus.
Annuentes senatu placet promovere.
Ascendant William Barker.
Ego, ea auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes alma huc universitate amplissimam indulserent, te in scientia baccalaureum creo, in cuius re testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno, quod ut Felix Faustumque sit, deum optimum maximum preco.
Anai Bliau.
Et te creo.
Morgan Carnell.
Et te creo.
Margorzata Judorak.
Et te creo.
Angela Cobinas Palomino.
Et te creo.
Tamara Dorfer.
Et te creo.
Felipe Dupont.
Et te creo.
Nathan Eldridge.
Et te creo.
Joanna Forsyth.
Et te creo.
Mary Gormley.
Et te creo.
Finley Hamilton.
Et te creo.
Willow Holdcroft.
Et te creo.
Emily Keith.
Et te creo.
Tanya Kiveri.
Et te creo.
Josephine Louette.
Et te creo.
Courtney Molloy.
Et te creo.
Viola Panigada.
Et te creo.
Letitia Savelli.
Et te creo.
Aaron Sharp.
Et te creo.
Ollie Slater.
Et te creo.
Joanne Stewart.
Et te creo.
Louise Taylor.
Et te creo.
Louise Thomason.
Et te creo.
Shamu Turi.
Et te creo.
Lucia Van Blanken.
Et te creo.
Sarita Whitehead.
Ete Creo.
Aaron Wilson.
Ete Creo.
Ruth Helmore.
Ete Creo.
Adam Peters.
Ete Creo.
Natalia Timenakova.
Ete Creo.
Emily Webster.
Ete Creo.
Manjiri Bhatt.
Ete Creo.
Akila Biju.
Ete Creo.
Luis Burrell.
Ete Creo.
Tyrell Burton.
Ete Creo.
Clara Canosa.
Ete Creo.
Mariana Correa Lima.
Ete Creo.
Ewan Costello.
Ete Creo.
Alexandra Cyrek.
Ete Creo.
Holly Dingwall.
Ete Creo.
Dimitrios Doritas.
Ete Creo.
Michelle Dudev.
Ete Creo.
Corinne Finetti.
Ete Creo.
Alex Grote.
Ete Creo.
Samantha Hansen.
Ete Creo.
Sophie Hoffman.
Ete Creo.
Barbara Ilitova.
Ete Creo.
Caitlin Joss.
Ete Creo.
Adele Maxnis.
Ete Creo.
Mira Malmberg.
Ete Creo.
Paula Mangano Martinez.
Ete Creo.
Lauren Nicholson.
Ete Creo.
Ol Watoniloba Omotunde Young.
Ete Creo.
Keziah Pilling.
Ete Creo.
Nila Pumi.
Ete Creo.
Luke Robertson Jones.
Ete Creo.
Megan Short.
Ete Creo.
Katie Smith.
Ete Creo.
Leah Teffner.
Ete Creo.
Annette Ugetto.
Ete Creo.
Stephanie Wilka.
Ete Creo.
Didam Yurdakul.
Ete Creo.
Molly Anderson.
Ete Creo.
Samuel Angus.
Ete Creo.
Harry Bell.
Ete Creo.
Aidan Berg.
Ete Creo.
Catherine Brown.
Ete Creo.
Laura Cadeau.
Ete Creo.
Emo Casellas.
Ete Creo.
Charlie Clark.
Ete Creo.
Laura Cuesta Laguillo.
Ete Creo.
Isabel Gallagher.
Ete Creo.
Emma Henderson.
Ete Creo.
Joe Jenkinson.
Ete Creo.
Dennis Kwok.
Ete Creo.
Hannah Lee.
Ete Creo.
Timothy Molds.
Ete Creo.
Eloise Nelson.
Ete Creo.
Kelly Patterson.
Ete Creo.
Robert Paler.
Ete Creo.
Julia Pausrosnik.
Ete Creo.
Kelly Pride.
Ete Creo.
Dylan Ragon.
Ete Creo.
Naomi Rennie.
Et te creo.
Smilla Savarelli.
Et te creo.
Taran Stewart.
Et te creo.
Jessica Timoney.
Et te creo.
Matthew Turner.
Et te creo.
Item presentur vobis os candidatus examine probatus, ad gradum magistratus in scientia promovendos.
Annuente senatu placet promovere.
Ascendent Samuel Ado Larby.
Ego e auctoritate quem sumi et potentissime principes alma huic universitate amplissumum indulserunt. Te in scientia magistrum creo. In cuius rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno, quod ut Felix Faustumque set, deum optimum maximum preco.
Michael Adu Donia.
Et te creo.
Imisiolua Bodungring.
Et te creo.
Rahul Pukeri.
Et te creo.
Daniel Osunbo.
Et te creo.
Chitna Patil.
Et te creo.
Khalud Bandar Binaid.
Et te creo.
Swetha Charles.
Et te creo.
Zoha Saida.
Et te creo.
Manju Madhu Gita.
Et te creo.
Ishita Pandey.
Et te creo.
Anu Shiva Raj.
Et te creo.
Arti Monica Subia.
Et te creo.
Sai Ardrusta Deepak Bongo.
Et te creo.
Leka Jagabatuni.
Et te creo.
Gibson Priest Sahayadas.
Et te creo.
Simran Singh.
Et te creo.
Matilda Adam Kairamate.
Et te creo.
Cynthia Tetet U.
Et te creo.
Sandra Maria Johns.
Et te creo.
Karan Kataria.
Et te creo.
Eve Janea Kamrakia. Kamra.
Et te creo.
Falak Khan.
Et te creo.
Sahar Khan. Shristi Kasa.
Et te creo.
Pramelia Mohan.
Et te creo.
Shruti Poladi.
Et te creo.
Nada Ashraf Sharawi.
Et te creo.
Anupama Guha.
Et te creo.
Alfred Owusu Adusai.
Et te creo.
Susan Youssef.
Et te creo.
Stephen Lane.
Et te creo.
Molly Oshie.
Et te creo.
Item presento vobis os candidatus examine probatus ad gradum doctoratus in philosophia promoendos.
Annuente senatu placet promovere.
Ascendant Aisha Al-Shati.
Ego, ea auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes, alma huic universitate amplissimum indulserunt. Te in philosophia doctorum et magistrum creo. In cuius rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno, quod ut Felix Faustumque sit, deum optimum maximum precor.
Amira Al-Zajali.
Et te creo.
Amy Cooper.
Et te creo.
Lucidia Giuliani.
Et te creo.
Karina Kangur.
Et te creo.
Lynn Person.
Et te creo.
Dean Porter.
Et te creo.
Tanya Schwang.
Et te creo.
Anna Silva Coto.
Et te creo.
Megan Simpson.
Et te creo.
Saga Svensson.
Et te creo.
Rodanthi Zindrile.
Et te creo. Professor Payton.
Vice-Chancellor, esteemed colleagues, honoured guests, new graduates of the University of Aberdeen. I'm honoured to have been asked to speak at the close of this ceremony, and I take this opportunity to be one of the first to congratulate our new graduates and alumni. I am sure I will be joined by your friends, families, guests, and all of those here today by saying, well done. Don't let anybody rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go on and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live, said Mae C. Jemison, known worldwide as the first black woman to travel into space. And that's why we're here today, to celebrate achievements. Graduation is simply a pause in the journey from degree to career to life-affirming decisions. But it's not just education we celebrate today. Martin Luther King Jr. said, intelligence plus character. That's the goal of true education. Our universities are the envy of the world. We must protect them and their values, but we must also lever them to greater societal effects, transform world-class research and ideas into societal benefit and commercialisation. Sir Winston Churchill, a former Lord Rector of our university, said, success is the ability to go from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. We live in a changing world, and now more than ever, there is a demand for well-trained graduates to address significant societal challenges that include the climate crisis, the uneven distribution of wealth, feeding an expanding global population, the threat of the values of freedom that have been hard won. Closer to home, higher education faces immediate and medium-term challenges, including artificial intelligence, the wider cost benefit, the threat of false news and how this undermines impartiality source knowledge. Fundamental changes in global higher education. But challenges and threats are nothing new to this university. Since its foundation, the university has sought solutions at local, national, and global levels. Bishop Elphinstone, the Lord High Chancellor, Keeper of the Privy Seal, was the founder of King's College in 1495 through a papal bull. Earl Marshal, George Keith, the fifth Earl Marshal, a title whose lineage was bestowed by King Robert the Bruce, founded a post-medieval civic university known as the Toon College. These great institutions merged through an Act of Parliament in 1860. But what challenges and opportunities have we faced throughout these centuries? In the 16th century, we had to contend with the Battle of Flodden, the destruction of the Spanish Armada, and sectarian rage, but also the formation of the Royal Mail and indeed the Golden Act. In the 17th century, a UK-wide civil war, a gunpowder plot, and the Great Fire of London, but also the arrival of tea in Britain, the Glorious Revolution, and the establishment of the Bank of England. In the 18th century, the Jacobite uprising and its fall at Culloden, the American War of Independence, but also the Scottish Enlightenment, the First Iron Bridge, and the publication of the Times. In the 19th century, the Napoleonic and Crimean Wars demonstrated internationalisation of conflict, while on the positive side, vaccinations were made available to the poor, there was the abolition of slavery and the introduction of national primary education. In the 20th century, 2 world wars, pandemics of flu, unparalleled incidents of ethnic cleansing, the start and the end of communism, but also the isolation of antibiotics, the birth of the World Wide Web, UK devolution, and peace in Northern Ireland. The university also produced 5 Nobel laureates in 1921, 23, 37, 49, and 1952. And in the 21st century, the pace is intense. In the past year alone, we've had 3 prime ministers, 2 first ministers, 2 monarchs, an unjust war in Ukraine, evidence of complacency in climate crisis, and of course the long shadow of COVID. There's no doubt that neither Bishop Elphinstone nor Earl Marshal would recognise the challenges or the successes we have faced throughout our history as a university. But by respecting our history and better understanding what we have faced, we are more effectively resourced to face the future. We have a larger campus, we have more students, we offer a diverse range of world-class degrees. We deliver innovation and research with impact. We are truly international, we care, and we invest in our community. And we perform with and to the citizens of this great city and its hinterland. History clearly shows our ability to see threats and challenges, and to study the evidence to share societal solutions. Universities remain at the heart of driving our nation forward. Solutions may be innovated by scientists, but they'll be delivered by stakeholders, companies, communities, and individuals using systems engineered through solutions. In the words of Barack Obama, don't just get involved, fight for your seat at the table. Better yet, fight for a seat at the head of the table. The huge array of talent among you, our graduates, is more than enough to change the world many times over and to make it a better place in ways both great and small. You are certainly well equipped to face whatever challenges come your way, not only with the knowledge and understanding that you've gained from your studies, but also with new skills and confidence, new connections and opportunities. Mae Jemison said, "Never be limited by other people's limited imaginations." If you have adopted their attitudes, then the possibility won't exist because you'll already have shut it out. You can hear other people's wisdom, but you've got to reevaluate the world for yourself. As graduates, you will provide solutions through innovation, inventions, communications, decision-making, management, leadership, and being role models, bound by the values and the integrity of our founders. As an institution, we're forward-looking, agile, and ambitious, and we welcome our next cohort of alumni to our global family. We look forward to your continued engagement, your leadership and energy globally. Congratulations. Celebrate, reflect, and move forward.
We're almost at the end of this graduation ceremony, the first of the week. The final part is a benediction. The Reverend, the chaplain to the university.
Would you all please stand with me as I close our time together with a traditional Celtic blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warmly upon your face, and may the rains fall softly upon your fields. And until we meet again, may you be held in the palm of God's hands. Amen.